I don't know about you, but one of the main reasons that I love playing war games is that I think they're a great way to spend time with your friends and family. And because of that, the thing that I want above all else is a game that's fun. Now, in this video, I'm going to look at some games which fit the bill. Games that even when the dice betray you, you'll still have a good time. Now, I'm going to give you my top 3, but I'd like to start off with a few honourable mentions. A Song of Ice and Fire, the miniatures game, or ASOIAF to its friends, is a fast-paced rank and file miniatures game. Players play on a board that's 4 foot by 4 foot and have roughly half a dozen units aside. They're trying to seize objectives and complete secret agendas. The game features lovely models, rich lore from George R.R. Martin's books, and combines on-board movement with card play and the use of a tactics board, where characters not directly involved in a battle can affect the outcome through plotting and skullduggery. It's a lot of fun. Dust is a game that can be played either as a board game or as a full war game, which is the way I like to play. Whichever way you choose, it has a fantastic weird World War setting. The models look great on the board and come pre-base coated, so you can avoid the horrors of a grey horde. Dust Tactics features a great reaction system, swift combat resolution, and fast army building rules, as you don't need to choose every weapon or item of equipment your troops will carry. You just grab a stat card and off you go. So those are my honourable mentions. Now on to the top 3. My choice for game number 3 is Marvel Crisis Protocol. Any game that's based on superheroes is tapping into a rich vein of nostalgia. If you read comic books as a kid, or perhaps as a big kid, you followed the MCU, anything like that, you are going to love this game. Games of MCP are played on a very manageable 3 foot by 3 foot board, with usually just 4 or 5 models aside. And look at those models. I love games with those stand back moments where you just have to stop and survey the battlefield because it looks so damn cool. Every character in the game has their own stat card, so there's no rifling through rulebooks, and every ability the characters have is some sort of superpower. So you are constantly doing amazing things with your models, flying over rooftops, throwing cars, unleashing blasts of energy. That's fun. Each player also has a number of cards that they can spend during the game to pull off signature moves. I've played MCP plenty. I've won, I've lost, I've never failed to have fun. Number 2 in my list of most fun war games is Zone Wars. It's a fantastic example of a game where you get everything you need in a box, or ideally in 2 boxes, as I really would recommend getting the expansion. You get all of this scenery, loads of models which come not pre-painted but pre-shaded, the rules, the rulers, the dice, the cards, you get the lot. Zone Wars has a great setting, based on a long-running and well-regarded role-playing game called Mutant Year Zero. It's a bizarre, sometimes humorous, sometimes grim, post-apocalyptic world, where distinct factions compete for relics of the old world and try to maintain their ark, a refuge from the chaos all around them. There are mutations, psychic powers, advanced robotics, and giant freaking bunnies. Each round of Zone Wars has players drawing tokens out of a bag to see who activates. This can also trigger zone cards, which represent the weird and wonderful flora and fauna of the wasteland. This rather chaotic structure to a round reminds me somewhat of Mordheim. Each player has a small gang that might fall foul of other characters or their world at any moment. Players can't stress too much about planning their moves, as they're just not quite sure what'll happen next. All they can do is laugh at it and concentrate on having fun. Zone Wars has a very straightforward set of rules, and if you're someone who is looking to get started with wargaming, or perhaps introduce a buddy, then Zone Wars is where I recommend you start. My choice for #1 most fun war game is Dropzone Commander. It's just epic. The 10mm scale means that you're fighting for entire city blocks and that each player has a huge army to command. I also love the aliens. Imagine if War of the Worlds had a love child with Cthulhu and you allowed the alien queen to babysit. The aliens in this are truly terrifying. The Scourge in particular, I just think are awesome. Let me show you a little bit more about Dropzone Commander. All of the models in Dropzone Commander are beautifully crafted from high quality resin. And there are 5 very unique factions to choose from, all with a distinct aesthetic and play style. There's the UCM, the Resistance, the Scourge, the Shaltari, and the PHR. With the upcoming release of Drop Fleet Commander 2nd Edition and Strike Team Commander, both games set in the same universe, the first covering ship battles in space and the second small skirmish conflicts, a 6th race, the Biofighter Fleshcrafters, will soon be added. The rules in Dropzone Commander are more complex than either Zone Wars or Marvel Crisis Protocol, but the game is well into its 2nd edition and a series of tweaks mean that it runs very smoothly and offers plenty of options for list building. Stat cards are freely available from TT Combat's website, and the books that have been released for this game have always been a joy. They are bursting with top quality artwork and contain some really great lore. And a developing narrative is another one of the things that's kept me interested in the game for 10 years now. Every game of Dropzone Commander contains moments where units get to shine, so that even if you lose a game, there are plenty of water cooler moments. 10mm games seem to be making a bit of a resurgence at the moment, and if you're at all interested in this particular wargaming niche, I can't recommend Dropzone Commander more highly. It has a fantastic starter set, and the game itself is great value and great fun to play. This is a Scourge unit that I picked up a couple of days ago. It's a behemoth, and once I've built it and painted it, it's going to be this size on the battlefield. Tell me that isn't going to be fun. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that it's given you some ideas about which games really are fun to play. For me, that's the most important thing, getting together with your friends and family, throwing some dice and enjoying yourself. I have covered a number of the games I've mentioned elsewhere on my channel, so if you'd like to check out those videos, that would be great. I hope to see you again soon, and until then, keep rolling.